Welcome back, wrestling fans, and welcome back to Waynesider, where tonight's Raw reminded us that wrestling is never just about victories, it's about the unseen struggles, the weight of legacy, and the tensions that simmer behind every spotlight. The show opened with energy and anticipation, yet an undercurrent of concern ran through the arena. Every glance, every movement carried a sense of fragility that few could explain, but all could feel. Naomi, one of the brightest stars in WWE, was set to shine tonight. Her presence, her athleticism, and her connection with the fans have always been undeniable. But tonight, fate intervened in an unexpected, unsettling way. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. During her segment, Naomi suffered a medical issue that halted the show momentarily. The crowd's cheers turned into gasps, and the locker room's concern became visible. For a brief moment, the spectacle of Raw paused, leaving everyone to confront the fragility of the human body behind the athletic performance. The WWE Universe was reminded that these athletes are more than their moves or their titles. They are human, vulnerable, and deserving of our respect beyond the entertainment they provide. As paramedics attended to Naomi, the emotional weight in the arena grew heavier. It was a stark contrast to the adrenaline-fueled matches that define Raw, and a reminder that life in WWE is unpredictable, intense, and often unforgiving. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins carried forward with his own storyline, preparing for his next title defense. His focus, determination, and charisma filled the arena, offering a counterbalance to the earlier tension. Rollins' match promised not just athletic excellence, but a narrative of perseverance and preparation. Every move, every strategy, spoke to his commitment to remain at the pinnacle of WWE. But as Rollins battled, the silent tension of the night continued backstage. There is another story that runs parallel to the matches, one that has defined WWE for years: the bloodline. Roman Reigns' presence in the arena is more than just a championship storyline. It carries decades of history, power, and expectation. He is the tribal chief, a figure whose authority has been built on loyalty, fear, and unspoken rules that govern both family and faction. The bloodline's history is complex. Power within the family has always been absolute, yet pressure and silent resentment have festered in ways that outsiders rarely perceive. Every glance, every hesitation, has meaning. Tonight, the tension was visible. Roman's eyes scanned the arena, his allies, and the audience with the precision of a leader accustomed to control, yet with the subtle vulnerability of someone who knows that dynasties can fracture from within. The family's unity, which has long been their strength, seemed fragile. Moments of hesitation, quiet whispers backstage, and subtle glances suggested that even the most loyal members were questioning the balance of power. And then, halfway through the night, it happened. The unthinkable unfolded as Roman Reigns faced a violent challenge from within his own ranks. What began as subtle tension erupted into a brawl filled with chaos, shock, and emotion that reverberated through the arena. Bodies collided, chairs crashed, and the aura of invincibility surrounding the bloodline shattered. Roman's authority, long unchallenged, was put to the test in a way that felt both shocking and inevitable. The audience witnessed not just a physical struggle, but an emotional reckoning. Allies hesitated, some watched silently, and in that pause, the fractures within the bloodline became undeniable. Backstage whispers after the brawl suggested that certain members may have orchestrated or at least welcomed the chaos. This was not just a fight, it was a statement, a turning point in a family that has always been defined by dominance. Seth Rollins' match, which followed, offered a temporary reprieve. His preparation, skill, and focus contrasted sharply with the chaos surrounding Roman, highlighting the different ways individuals navigate pressure and expectation in WWE. Yet even as Rollins triumphed, the shadow of the bloodline lingered. Roman's reign has always been about power, but tonight reminded everyone that power without loyalty is fragile. Naomi's medical issue earlier in the night, Seth's calculated victory, and the family's internal strife all converged to illustrate the duality of WWE: triumph and fragility, loyalty and betrayal, strength and vulnerability. The aftermath of the attack left Roman standing, but not unscathed. The cracks in the bloodline were exposed, and alliances once thought inviolable now appeared vulnerable to doubt and dissent. Fans watching understood that what they witnessed was more than a match. It was a history unfolding live, a legacy being questioned, and a family's foundation trembling before the world. Tonight's Raw reminded us that wrestling is not just about the spectacle. It is about relationships, trust, and the consequences of betrayal. Blood may bind, but it can also fracture. In the end, Roman's empire is no longer untouchable. The bloodline's story now carries the weight of doubt, the risk of rebellion, and the lingering question of whether loyalty is genuine or simply fear in disguise. And as fans, we are left to reflect on the cost of power, the fragility of trust, and the heartbreaking reality that even blood ties can be broken when pressure, resentment, and ambition collide.